everybody,
Hello.
and welcome back to our YouTube channel. We are, as always, your hosts, Arne and Carlos, and right now we are having an amazing time celebrating Easter, or actually we are just relaxing and chilling out on our deck. The weather is spectacular. It's absolutely what everybody in Norway would expect for Easter.
This is our beach.
This is our beach, absolutely. We pretend that all this snow is actually sand and that we're at the beach. But in fact, we are in the mountains on the snow. Now, you don't know this because you're not here, you can only see us, but I'd like to tell you that just because we have all this snow doesn't mean that it's cold. On the contrary, the sun is really strong and we're all, snugly under our woolly blankets, but it's still not cold at all. I mean, it feels like a regular day outdoors. So we're here with our oranges, which is something very typical in Norway for Easter. We've got our cocoa.
And no mittens.
And no mittens.
Metal needles.
And metal needles, and we're knitting. And guess what we're knitting?
Easter eggs. That's what you need for Easter.
That's what you need for Easter.
Yeah.
And because we're going to be, getting closer to Easter, we thought that you might need some more Easter egg patterns. And that's exactly what we're going to do today.
So we made a new egg, and that's on the blog.
That's on the blog.
Maybe
the pattern's on the blog.
I should give an update on how we knit the egg.
Yeah. Why don't you refresh everybody's memory on knitting the Easter egg? For those of you that haven't seen the tutorial, look up there, somewhere up on the top of the screen. There's a little icon with an eye on it, and you click on that and you will go directly to the Easter egg videos, the tutorial. And we've also got a Christmas ball tutorial that would work just the same.
Yeah.
And then, of course, go to our blog at arnecarlos.com to download the pattern for this year's Easter egg, which is this one over here.
So for this one we work on needle number 3, and we use the Merino Extra Fine 120 from Schackenmeier. But you can use any yarn if you don't have that one. But remember, you have to have Easter color.
Yeah, so we're looking at kind of bright colors that pop together, yellows, blues,
Yeah, so
pinks,
Carlos made a turquoise
and
blue,
yellow egg.
and yellow, and then I make the opposite.
Yeah, and now I'm working on a purple and hot pink, I think it's going to be.
So the way we do it is we cast on 12 stitches on one needle, then we split those on 4, because we like to work on 4 needles, because we think it's easier, because you repeat what you see on the pattern 4 times. Mm-hmm. That means you knit what you see on the pattern on each needle. So it's easy.
It's very easy.
And we cast on the first 12 on one needle, and then we divide them on 4, because that is easier than casting on 1 and 1 and 1. You put those 12 stitches with the needles like in a hashtag, and you place them on your finger if you knit the Norwegian way. And then you start picking and knitting on the round. Like this. And on this egg there's a lot of carrying, or what you call carrying the yarn, float.
Carrying the floats.
Carrying the floats.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So that's the first round. And then when you increase, we do this way. We lift the stitch as is below the last stitch. You can put it on the needle like this, and you knit in that one. So this way you won't get a hole in your stockinette, like this. When you've done this increasing like hundreds of times, you will stop lifting the yarn. Then you can just loosen it up a little bit, and you go directly into the stitch. It's hard in the beginning, but then you go just into the stitch without lifting it. But on the first rounds it's easier to lift. And that's how it works. I have to knit a few rounds now before we have the pattern.
Are you putting in the color soon?
I have a few rounds. You can talk about Easter if you want.
Yeah.
Because you had a shock when you came to Norway the first time.
Yeah. My first big culture shock in Norway was my first Easter here in this place. Had just moved in June of 1999, I think it was. And then I guess it was in March of the year 2000, I was going to celebrate my first Easter. And we have this lake that you can't see right now because of all the snow, but people actually come to the lake during Easter holidays to hang out and relax, especially when the weather is like this. We get the ice fishers, they come and they drill holes into the ice. That's why we know that our ice is about 2 meters deep. It's about 6 feet deep because they drill and then they can tell us how thick the ice is. So they did the ice fishing, and then one day, it was kind of like in the weekend of Easter, I looked out the window and there were so many families on the lake. They had brought their beach chairs, kind of, you know, the simpler version of what we're using right now.
The
Camping chairs, yeah. They had little tables, they had their oranges, they had their hot chocolates on thermoses. Kids were actually making castles or igloos on the snow. And it looked like people were on the beach. Literally, it looked like people were having a day on the beach. Instead, it was actually ice and snow.
But you know, if the sun is up, people take their clothes off.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, not everything, but...
No, but... I mean, obviously, we're sitting here, we're snugly under our blankets, but it is warm and it's nice. And it's... I'm sure people who come from these regions in the world that have high mountains and snow and good weather like this, whether you come from the Alps or a region in America with beautiful mountains, there are many of those, you know that it doesn't actually mean that it's cold. When the sun's out, it's nice and warm. People go to after ski, they hang out outside and they just enjoy the beautiful scenery and the wonderful fresh air. Mm-hmm. So it's nice. Yeah. It's the best way to spend Easter. We don't get this kind of weather every year, but we have to be really grateful of this wonderful day today, and hopefully it will last
until the spring comes.
And hopefully all the snow will melt as well.
So should I just put in the yarn just to show how we put in the yarn?
Yeah, I'd love you to show that, because I have seen that on the Q&A somewhere. You know, people asking us, but how do you put the yarn in? And we just want to demystify everything. There's no hocus pocus. There's no technical special way to put the yarn, and you can only do it this way or that. It's really very straightforward.
You can put the yarn in however you want, as long as the end result looks good.
Yeah. And Arne will show you how he puts the
yarn. This is
in.
how I put in the yarn. I keep the main color, the one I use the most, on the finger, like this. I put the needle into the stitch. Then I take the other yarn and I just place the yarn on the needle like this with the tail. And then I knit that stitch. And then on this one I just have one stitch on the first round on the pattern, so I have to knit all the way to the second needle. Right now I'm not sure if I'm on the right spot, but it makes no difference because I will show you. Anyway, now I knitted one in the pattern color and 4 stitches, and then it's time to carry the floats or twist the yarn. The way I do it is I just make one time this way, or it could be one time this way. It makes no difference. Sometimes people tell us that we have to put the yarn over all the time or under all the time, because it's I think they mean that the stitch will look different. I don't know. Yeah, we don't care because we can't see the difference. So like now I put the blue over the yellow, and then I had to knit 3 stitches and make one, knit one, and then the yarn for the pattern comes on the needle again. And then I pull just to make the same tension on both colors, and there you see, that's the carry of carrying of the float. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's
And
how
that's
it
how we do
works.
it. So
So
I
now we
think,
just have to knit it.
yeah, now we have to knit it. I think that this is a great kind of refreshing course in knitting the Easter egg or the Christmas ball. Go to our blog, look for the pattern, arnecarlos.com, and you can also, as we've already said, check out the videos that we have done previously. So what's there left for us to do and say? I guess we're going to keep enjoying this gorgeous day here. Oh my God, the sun's so strong. I think I'm going to put those glasses back on. Going to enjoy the rest of this day, stay outside as much as we can, finish up our chocolate, finish up our knitting, just enjoying Easter holidays, which we have this year, yay.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll be back again with a new tutorial, a new video. We do this every single week, non-stop, every single month. So until next time, remember to hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, please click on the like, and we'll see you again very soon. So until then, bye.
Bye.